곳에 행복 찾으고.
Let us begin. Today is the 9th day of the 2nd month in the 9th year of Chanelguk, March 21, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천진, 천부모님께 경배. 바로. Let us recite 가정맹세.
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For our opening prayer, I would like to invite Mr. Jude Cedric Montefort to offer the prayer.
Please join me in my prayer. 사랑하는 하늘 부모님, 순리하신 진지인 참 부모님, 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Heavenly Parent and true parents, thank you so much for giving us this time, this morning, for us to gather as one family, to really unite together under the heavenly banner, for us to really take part in this heavenly tradition of Unduke. We thank you for keeping us safe throughout the night. We thank you for giving us this life that we have today, that we are still enjoying today, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for everything that you have given us. Thank you so much for each and every person that we are interacting with every day, Heavenly Parent. Although we are not enough, although we have some lapses, may it be in our family, in our mission, and even in ourselves, but Heavenly Parent, you still are the true parent that looks in our hearts, that always chooses us no matter what, Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, may you allow us to really determine more, especially this time where the spirit world is really alive, where this world is really in danger. And we know, Heavenly Parent, we have the responsibility to bring back your children back to your bosom, Heavenly Parent. Please help us, not only for us to really go forward and have strength, but for us to really build a substantial chunal book, for us to really go forward and have determination, whatever challenges, whatever ignorance, and whatever lackings that we have, for us to come out 100% victorious. We have 100% faith. We have 120% determination, Heavenly Parent, that we can do it with the help of our precious, precious true parents. Please help our hearts to completely empty ourselves so that we can unite fully with our precious true mother, so we can unite fully with our leaders and brothers and sisters. Because Heavenly Parent, we know that we in ourselves are not enough. We in ourselves are insufficient. But Heavenly Parent, through you, through our true mother, we can do anything. Please allow us to become filial children that can comfort true parents' heart, that will do anything to build a substantial chunulguk within true mother's lifetime. Especially us, the youth. And in behalf of my brothers and sisters, in behalf of my leaders, in true parents' name I pray, Adieu.
Thank you very much, Jude, for your prayer. Good morning to our brothers and sisters, our leaders, and our blessed and proud families. Thank you very much for joining our Hinduke this morning. Today is also Sunday, a very special day for each and every one of us as we also celebrate the Lord's Day. So, for now to lead our Hinduke reading, I would like to request
Nikki, let's offer first individual prayer.
Okay, now let's offer our individual prayer. Yes, once again, good morning, brothers and sisters, to all our leaders and all blessed and proud families who are joining with us this morning. Thank you, and also happy Sunday. And for our Hinduke reading, I would like to request Mr. Mark J. Tapia to read our Hinduke reading.
Our reading for this Hinduke from the book of Mother of Peace, a memoir by Dr. Hatjani. Chapter 6, Creating the Road to One World. At that time, visitors from the free world visited North Korea at the risk of their lives. Communists hate religion, and my husband and I were co-founders of religion. In addition to that, we were leaders of a global movement to end communism. Our trip to North Korea was not for the sake of joint economic ventures. We didn't go with a duplicitous motive, feigning interest in North Korea's benefit while actually being there for our own benefit. Such is typical of that political role, but that was not on our minds. For the sake of genuinely following the providential will, we went only with the heart of God to enlighten and lovingly embrace the communist leaders and open the way for genuine unification. We entered the land relying only on God and advised its supreme leaders to receive heaven's decree. While in North Korea, even though we were honored as state guests, we could not sleep comfortably, knowing that there were thousands upon thousands of families separated and longing for each other because Korea was not yet unified. We stayed awake every night, seeking to connect heavenly fortune to that place through our heartfelt prayer. We spent those nights submitting ourselves to God for the sake of the unification of the Korean Peninsula. Political negotiation and economic exchange will come only on the foundation of the true love of God. By making this our focus, our talks with Chairman Kim opened a new chapter for the unification of North and South Korea. Looking back, I reflect that it was at the moment communism reached its zenith that my husband and I raised our lives to go to Moscow and Pyongyang with joyful hearts as a representative of the free world. We embraced enemies who had severely persecuted us. By our doing so, they were moved and we could reconcile. Thus, we laid the foundation for unification and peace. We went to North Korea not to get something, but to give genuine true love. For the sake of God, my husband and I forgave the unforgivable. For the sake of humanity, we loved the unlovable. Soon after the completion of our 8-day mission, North Korea's Prime Minister Yoon Young-mok led a delegation to Seoul and signed a joint declaration of the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula with the South Korean government. Over the coming months, our movement set up an industrial enterprise, the Pyongyang Motors Factory, as well as the Botong River Hotel and the World Peace Center, all in Pyongyang as the cornerstones for unification. Afterwards, the seeds planted by husband and I at that time bore fruit with a visit of the South Korean president to North Korea to discuss the path toward the unification. On that foundation, the shoots of peace and unification are growing. When those shoots blossoms into full bloom, the earnest prayers my husband and I have offered for Korean unification will be remembered forever. After our meetings with President Gorbachev and Chairman Kim, my husband and I mapped out our next steps. We envisioned God-centered organizations that would fill the vacuum about to be created by communism demise and underground effective pitch building. With the tangible menace of militant communism now fading, the reformation of religious faith and family-based morality was the next mountain to climb. It had taken more than 50 years to sweep international communism into the dustbin of history. But the decline of religion and family life is a subtle and therefore more pernicious threat. Religious leaders are tasked by God to guide people to live responsibly, but the influence of religion in modern times has been declining. Our challenge now becomes the restoration of religious faith as society's compass. Thus, we intensified our investment in bringing religious leaders to see beyond their denominational horizons and in the religious conflict and work together based upon universally shared God-centered values. These are the same absolute values around which we called scientists, media professionals, and political leaders to work. Healthy societies of all races, nations, and religions arise on the foundation of morality and ethics, which in turn arise of the foundation of the love of God between husband and wife, parents and children. This love of God in the family is the source of absolute values, values that are universally shared and taught by all religions. We inspired faith leaders to work together and teach these universally shared values. We actually have invested more of our movements, resources on this than on the growth of our church. Our vision brought together religious leaders and government leaders centered around a common purpose of peace and true freedom. Renowned people from all walks of life who empathize with our objectives become ambassadors for peace. Through the work of Federation for World Peace and in the Interreligious Federation for World Peace. Starting 2001 in Korea, the activities of these peace ambassadors quickly spread throughout the world. Inspired by this vision, peace ambassadors in 160 countries are putting down roots of true peace through project work in a broad range of fields. Where there are disputes, where poverty hinders education, where there is religious intolerance, where people lack sufficient medical care, peace ambassadors alleviate their pain and help them to improve their lives. Then, at New York City's Lincoln Center on September 12, 2005, we inaugurated an umbrella organization, the Universal Peace Federation. Following that event, my husband and I embarked upon a tour of 120 nations to meet the ambassadors for peace and establish UPF national chapters. UPF brings together people and organizations across the world through programs supporting the realization of a world of genuine peace. The Universal Peace Federation is now an NGO in general consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, where its representatives work with like-minded, peace-loving global citizens. Adieu.
Thank you very much, Mark, for reading our conductor reading. Let's give hand to the words of our two parents. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was really precious words from our two parents. And now let's go to the 10 points of gratitude. To share her 10 points of gratitude, let's all welcome our sister from the National Capital Region of IYSP chapter. Let's welcome Sister Valen Grace Denaheva. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. Sister Valen.
Hello. Yes. Good morning. So, good morning, Sir LA. Good morning, leaders, elders, brothers and sisters. Good morning. So I want to share the 10 points of gratitude. First, I'm grateful to Heavenly Parents because Heavenly Parents, without Heavenly Parents, we cannot feel love, we cannot feel this creation, and especially we cannot have life also. And two is I'm grateful because I meet through parents, because through parents they give us a spiritual life, or they give us a new life, and especially to change our love, life, and lineage. And three, I'm grateful to my ancestors. Because of my ancestors, they choose me, or they give us me a merit of age to meet through parents. And four is I'm grateful for my life every day, because without God giving me a life every day, so I feel grateful because every day is a chances, or it's really another process to learn more or to change my life. And five is I'm grateful to all the challenges and difficulties that I experience. So without the challenges and difficulties, I cannot grow my heart, and I cannot learn something, and I cannot become matured. So thank you so much for the challenges that I encounter. And 6 is I'm grateful to my family who raised me well, especially my physical and spiritual family. And 7 is I'm grateful for the good health, especially this time is a really difficult time because of the pandemic. So I'm very grateful because I am stable and I am in the good health. So yes, and 8 is I'm grateful for the food that I eat every day. So yeah, this is sometimes we forgot to be grateful in the food. So yeah, I very grateful because of this time also very hard time. So still we eat 3 times, 2 times, and sometimes more than 3 times we eat a day. So 9 is I'm grateful to the air that I breathe. So yes, I'm grateful also to the air because without air I cannot survive here in physical world. And 10 is I'm grateful to the Mother Earth. So I'm really grateful, especially to this world, for giving us a home to stay here in physical world. So and also for the environment when we go to recreation, we feel the Mother Earth's love. So that's what I'm really grateful. So yeah, let's be grateful every day and thank you so much. That's all.
Yes, thank you very much, Sister Valen, for sharing your 10 points of gratitude. Indeed, that was very basic points that we tend to recognize and we tend to also give gratitude of every day. Thank you very much once again, Sister Valen. So, by the way, Sister Valen is the Secretary General of the National Capital Region of IAYSP and CARP chapter. So yeah, she's also working so hard right now, especially that they're also really reviving the spirit of NCR. So once again, thank you very much, Sister Valen. So yeah, also I would like to recognize the presence of our dear leaders, especially to our Dr. and Mother Kitel. Thank you very much also for being with us, and also to our regional vice presidents, to our Dr. Julius, and also to our Sir Ronnie. Thank you very much for joining with us. And yeah, I guess everyone are really excited to hear and also to get inspiration to the guidance that we will be receiving this morning. So without further ado, it is my honor and also my great gratitude to welcome to you our national leader who will give us the guidance for this morning. Please help me welcome our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo T. Hala. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, our Sister Nikki. Good morning to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning to all our beloved leaders, all our blessed families and brothers and sisters. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ohayo gozaimasu. Annyeonghaseyo. Good morning to all brothers and sisters who are joining nationwide and also from other countries. Happy blessed Sunday to all of you. And today is Sunday, so today is a very special day. We'll be having our Sunday service also today at 10 a.m. So thank you for our IAYSP. Really also working very hard this time, especially we are now partnering with the government. And I'm really grateful for all the efforts also that they are doing. They're preparing now for our first National Youth Forum this coming March 27 and 28, especially with the direct guidance and help of our Dr. Kitel. I'm really, really grateful to all our leaders also are helping, Reverend Julius, Reverend Ronnie, and also Sir Edgar and Sir Richel, really helping a lot. Thank you so much. So today, I would like to share so today is already our 50th day of doing the national morning devotion together. And every day we are really learning new things from true father, from true parents. So we are really, really grateful. So today I would like to share with you this topic entitled Judge Not. And so this time I'm thinking of what to share every day, and I'm really checking from the guidance of our true parents what can really help us more, especially in this time of building Heavenly Parents Holy Community. There are a lot of challenges and difficulties uh, among us, and especially actually within ourselves. There are many difficulties that we need to overcome, right? So I would like to start this topic. So the scriptures cautions us not to judge another person's faults, even when they are evident, because neither are we perfect and free from error. The scriptures of all faiths echo Jesus' teaching not to regard the speck in your neighbor's eye before removing the log from your own eye. True Father teaches the rule of three. Before criticizing another person once, criticize yourself 3 times. Furthermore, before we correct another person, we should first invest in loving and helping them. So all scriptures are teaching about this. Do not judge people, even it is evident. So, because neither we are perfect and free from error. So, lahat po ng mga religious texts, ito yung tinuturo. Jesus also emphasized about this one. And then, also, our true Father, si Father, meron siyang sinulat na poem na ang title is Crown of Glory. So, that's why also, before I really memorize also this poem of Father. In the beginning, sabi ni Father, when I doubt people, I feel pain. When I judge people, it is unbearable. When I hate people, there's no value to my existence. So this very beautiful poem of Father. If you do this, Father said, then I will give you the crown of glory. So actually, it's really not easy to be able to see the goodness of other people. Sometimes we only see ourselves as the only ones good, and then very easy to judge others. That's why scriptures is reminding us, right? Especially really in building a holy community. How can we eliminate this kind of nature and character we have, and how can we really see the goodness of others? This is very, very important. Even me, very difficult, not easy. That's why all of us are experiencing this. That's why we are always being reminded when you read the scriptures, right? When you read, that's why also the crown of glory, we printed that in our house. We put that. Also, my wife put this one. So it's really very beautiful poem of Father to remind us, really help us, right? So that's why this is really time for us to how to really develop more ourselves and really try to always see the beauty of not only beauty of nature but the goodness and beauty of other people, brothers and sisters. Is really, really important. True Father said, study the person first. Before judging someone, study him for at least 3 years. Yeah, this is really important guidance of Father. Because basically, when we say unnecessary things towards others, basically we don't know them. We don't know them, right? When you started to understand and know someone, and then when you started to learn their difficulties and the shortcomings, actually what will be in your heart will be, you pity them. You pity them and then you want to help them. That's why whenever we say unnecessary words about other people, basically we don't know them, right? That's why Father is telling us here, before judging someone, you need to study him for at least 3 years. For at least minimum. That's minimum, Father said. That's why we don't have any right actually to, judge others. I don't have any right to judge, anybody. So when you judge others, meaning you don't know them. That's why Father is telling us today, first you need to study at least minimum 3 years. This is really important point. True Father said, do not criticize others. Do not criticize others, and the problem is within you. So Father said, do not criticize others because the problem is within you. A weak point of young people is that their minds are stretched out in all directions, like tree branches. Do you know what I mean? They are perceptive and quick. After one glance, they are quick to make comments. However, they tend to overlook themselves. So this is the characteristics of young people, especially this time. Father is saying the weak point of young people is that their minds are stretched out in all directions. Actually, alam niyo magulo yung mind ng actually maraming like they go to different directions, all directions. Like tree branches, kung saan-saan tumutubo, right? Tree branches also, they come from one place to another, so in all places. So ganun din yung mind daw ng mga kabataan, sabi ni Father. They are perceptive and quick. After one glance, they are quick to make comments. So, however, they tend to overlook themselves. So this is the characteristics now of young people, Father said. They're perceptive and very quick. One glance, they immediately make comments. However, they tend to overlook themselves. So this is the situation. Only they observe and notice, the things or the people around them, but they already forget to look at themselves, right? This is the problem. That's why it's very easy to criticize other people. So they couldn't see the real problem, which is actually not outside, but actually it's inside, right? This is the problem. True Father said, first, criticize yourself. Therefore, before you criticize someone, you should first find 3 points to criticize in yourself. Be only 1/3 as critical of that person as you are of yourself. So, bago raw tayo mag-criticize ng ibang tao, sabi ni Father, first, we need to find 3 points to criticize in ourselves. We need to look at, we need to evaluate, we need to really examine ourselves. What are our weakness, our limitations? We have to first criticize our own self before criticizing others. Sabi ni Father, be only 1/3 as critical of that person as you are of yourself. So that's why this time as we develop our own self, how can we really develop more ourselves? By looking, outside? Actually, we cannot. We have to really look inside us. And then we have to check. Every day we have to evaluate ang sarili natin. What are the things we need to develop in us, right? Then we can naturally, eventually, we are going to improve and develop ourselves. Then one day, right, you will be amazed that you have grown so much, right? If you focus more, of course, we are being taught of, living for others. We always, neglect or forget our own self. But, to have the really self-development, we have to evaluate our own self. We need to look inside. We need to look inside, not outside, right? And then we will grow, we will develop. Instead of looking, the limitations and the fault of other people, you have to look on yourself. That's why Father said at least minimum 3 points. You have to check within you, and then you criticize yourself. And then eventually we will grow and we will develop. True Father said, do not judge anyone in your heart. Do not judge anyone in your heart. You yourself are a sinner, a priest who failed to complete your responsibility. So how can you judge others? So actually, when we start to, really realize and really understand our limitations and shortcomings, at the end of the day, when we pray, then we repent. We ask forgiveness from Heavenly Parent because we couldn't do much. We couldn't fulfill the expectation from us. That's why True Father is reminding us here, do not judge anyone in our heart. Do not judge anyone, but really look at ourselves, right? And evaluate ourselves at the end of the day, and then we repent. We ask forgiveness from Heavenly Parent because we couldn't do what is expected from us. Hindi natin nagawa. So, Father is saying here, you yourself are a sinner, a priest who failed to complete your responsibilities. So every day, we commit sin, right? In our mind, sometimes, many things coming in our mind, and sometimes we accept it, right? So, just in our mind, we immediately commit sin. We are committing every day. We couldn't really control enough. So that's why every day we are, what we are failing every day from the expectation of our heavenly parent and true parents. We couldn't really fulfill our responsibilities every day. So Father said, how can you judge others? How can we judge other people if we ourselves, are not perfect? If we ourselves are committing sin, right? That's why it's really very good reminder today that True Parents is reminding us that we have to, really, instead of judging other people, we need to judge ourselves, right? We need to really repent, and then we have to redetermine again. So we shouldn't really judge anyone from our heart. True Father said, you should not judge other people. When you receive God's grace, you should use it to fight Satan on behalf of God with the heart of heaven's indignation. You should not judge other people based on your opinions. To enjoy the grace you receive while passing judgment on others who receive less is not the right attitude of faith. If you do so, you will not be able to walk the path acceptable to God. So especially people of faith, people who are following true parents, right? People who believes completely to the religious way of life and to the teachings to God's words, right? So Father is saying, if you do, you will not be able to walk the path acceptable to God. So if we judge other people, Father said, so sometimes we are like, we feel we are blessed more than others, right? So sabi ni Father dito, when you receive God's grace, you should use it to fight Satan on behalf of God. So instead of, bragging or, telling other people with the grace that we have received, and then sometimes we use this to judge other people. Father is telling us you should use it to fight Satan on behalf of God with the heart of heaven's indignation. You should not judge other people based on your opinions. That's why based on our own opinions, we shouldn't judge other people. So Father is telling us here to enjoy the grace you receive while passing judgment on others who receive less is not the right attitude of faith. That's why we cannot just enjoy, the blessing we receive. Even, we are blessed central families. We cannot judge other people who doesn't know true parents, right? People who are not blessed, we cannot judge them. People who are not, living in this, in this grace that was given. They don't know yet. They couldn't receive this grace. So people who receive this grace shouldn't, use this to judge other people, right? But ano sabi ni Father dito? We need to really walk we need to actually be humble all the time and really, with this grace that we have received, we have to really use this to improve more ourselves and to really help other people and share this grace and blessing that we receive in our life. That's why when we judge others, sabi ni Father, then the path that we are going through will not be acceptable to Heavenly Parent, even how much grace we receive. And then later on, we will going to lose the grace and the blessing that we have received if we judge other people. That's why this is really, sabi ni Father, it is unbearable when we judge other people. It's unbearable, right? That's why how to eliminate this kind of character as we build Heavenly Parents Holy Community, building ideal family. If husband and wife always judge each other, parents and children judge each other. So what will going to happen? They cannot really build ideal family. So the same is true, building ideal community, ideal society, ideal nation, right? Instead of judging other people, how we have to really pity them and then we have to help them overcome, right? We have to lift them up so that they can overcome their difficulties. Aju? And then we can really, create that culture of, helping each other and really loving one another. And then finally, we can really build an ideal society, ideal community. Then we can really build Heavenly Parents Holy Community. Aju? True Father said you should learn from others. If you are deficient in your character, listen to other people's testimonies to make up for it. Listen to them. Absorb their experiences as your own and strengthen your character thereby. You should learn from many people's experiences. That's why actually when people are sharing their life stories, their experiences, we can really learn from others' experiences. Sabi ni Father, if you are deficient in your character, that's why, our own experiences is just one. Our own, that's why when we learn from other people, from many people, we listen from their testimonies, we inherit, sabi ni Father dito, we need to absorb, listen to them, and then absorb their experiences as your own, and then strengthen your character. That's why when someone is sharing, we have to really listen very well, right? We can learn not only from our elders, not only from that's why even Father said, we learn from our children. Children also are our textbooks, mga anak natin. So we can learn from anybody, even from the person, on the street, a homeless. We can learn from them. We can learn from all people, actually. That's why sabi nga ni Father, we need to become like a sponge, that we can absorb, and when people are sharing their testimonies, their experiences in life. So we need to absorb their experiences as our own, and then therefore strengthen our character. Aju? So you should learn from many people's experiences. That's why this is really, really important. Because we cannot really experience, everything on our own. That's why by learning and understanding other people's experiences, we can absorb that, we can inherit that. Then that will become part of our character. We can develop ourselves. Aju? That's why it's really, really important to listen from other people's testimonies and make up for it. Father said, criticism is cancer to your growth. Do not criticize their testimonies after hearing them, Father said. To criticize means to set yourself up as determining whether it is on the side of Satan or God. But in so doing, it is you who are split to be either on Satan's side or God's side. Therefore, criticism is like cancer to your growth. So, that's why, sabi nga, we need to avoid yung 3 C's, di ba? We need to avoid yung complaining, criticizing, and comparing. Itong 3C, these are like, poison to our growth. Sabi ni Father, complaining, this is, poison to your spirit. Then even criticism, sabi ni Father, is like cancer to your growth. So this is very serious character of a fallen human being that we have inherited. That's why how to eliminate this. That's why sometimes even in our own community, what are the hindrances? Many hindrances that we sometimes neglect. But actually, this is because of our fallen nature, of our character. That's why we have to avoid these 3 C's in our life of faith. As we go through in our life of faith, we need to always avoid criticizing others, comparing, and then complaining. These 3 things we really need to avoid. So today, Father is telling us that criticism is cancer to your growth. So meaning you will never grow. You not only that you are stuck up in one state, but you destroy yourself. That's why cancer, what happens? If you have cancer, what will going to happen to you? You will going to die. Actually, you will going to die. Then this cancer will be spreading and then influencing all the cells in your body, destroying all your cells, destroying your entire body, right? So it's not only that you become stagnant or you stop, but it will destroy you. That's why if we criticize, if I criticize other people, and that's why every day we are realizing. Sometimes we realize, oh, I said that, right? Sometimes we realize. That's why if we just focus, looking at others' difficulties, at others' lapses and limitations, we couldn't see our own self, right? That's why sometimes, like the mirror, when you face the mirror, what you see in the mirror, you see yourself. That's why this is the problem now, not only for young people, but all of us, sabi ni Father, di ba? That's why when we criticize, sabi ni Father, it's like cancer to your growth. It's not only that you limit your growing or you stop in one place, but eventually you will destroy your own self. You will destroy your own self when we always criticize other people. That's why instead of criticizing others, sabi ni Father, look, 3 points in you that you can criticize. You criticize your own self. And then out of that way, and through that way, you will going to develop. You will improve. That's why minsan when we study, we review our life, why until now I'm still here in this state. Minsan, iniisip natin, bakit hanggang ngayon nandito pa rin ako? we regret about many things. Why? Because of our character, because of our attitude. We didn't change yet. Even though we learned the principle, napag-aralan na natin ang divine principle, and then we are following true parents until this time, we're still doing conditions, we are doing the traditions, but still we didn't change ourselves. That's why the purpose of the divine principle, it's not only to learn about this, right? But how can we practice this in our daily life? Kaya nga sabi rin ni Father, we learn and then practice. Sabi, we need to walk the talk. That's why this is the most difficult and most challenging, actually. That's why, when we try to live for others, we look for others first. But, with self-development, when we wanted to really improve and develop our own selves, we need to look inside us. What are the things we need to improve and develop within ourselves? Aju? That's why this is really important. Sometimes we think I am better than other people. This is all our nature, our foreign nature. That's why every day we need to repent. Right? Whatever positions we have, it doesn't mean I am in the higher position, I am better than anyone. Right? That's why this is really important. We have to remind ourselves. And then by, going, to this point, then we will going to start to grow. When we started to see that the problem is in us, not outside, then that's the moment we will going to start to grow. We need to start to develop. Aju? That's why Father said, criticism is like cancer to your growth. That's why we have to really realize and really understand this very well. That's why, whatever we have lived our life, how we lived our life in the past, now today is another day. God is giving us another opportunity to continuously improve and develop ourselves. Right? These things are not to judge us. The topic today is judge not. We are not judging anybody, right? Everybody is committing sin every day. All of us, right? Only a perfect being can judge us. Only true parents. So today, the purpose of this is for us to be reminded, for us to be educated, right? And then for us to, all of us to, really understand more our nature, and then how to improve this, especially with the grace and blessing that we have received from true parents. So let's use this. Father said a while ago, we shouldn't use the grace that we have received, right? To judge other people. But we have to use this to fight Satan in behalf of God. That's why with all the grace and blessing we have now, what Satan is doing is implanting negativities in our mind. That's right. That's why the moment we open our eyes in the morning, immediately Satan come to us. And then, telling us many things. Satan is telling us, to hate other people, to judge other people. Satan is telling us these things, to criticize others. That's why with the grace and blessing we have received, and then with this, the foundations, and then really the merit that we have in this era, in this generation, in this year of Channel Book, already we are living in the 9th year of Channel Book, right? That's why we have to use all these things to fight Satan, Father said, in behalf of God. So no matter what, we have to be victorious. We have to really grow and develop our own self. We need to really become the sons and daughters that God and true parents are really, dreaming of, are expecting about. Aju? That's why we have to really eliminate, this attitude within us. Otherwise, Father said, when we criticize, this is like cancer to our growth. True Father said, examine yourself. So before you speak ill of another, you should look at whether you have that problem. Before you point the finger at another, you should first point it at yourself. Only when you can give yourself a perfect score on every point are you in a position to judge others as you wish. So this is really important point Father's saying here. So we really need to examine ourselves. Diba? We really need, minsan nagpapa-check up tayo. We need to have like physical check-up to see, am I okay or not? So how about, spiritually? So that's why, di ba, meron nga yung spiritual check-up. We need to check important points sa buhay natin. So sabi ni Father dito, before you speak ill of another, you should look at whether you have that problem. Before we speak, unnecessary things or really painful things to other people. Sabi ni Father dito, you need to first check yourself. Only when you can give yourself a perfect score on every point are you in a position to judge others as you wish. So kapag perfect lang daw tayo, sabi ni Father, that's why only a perfect being. Kapag, someone who is not committing mistake is the only one authorized to judge other people. So ibig sabihin, all of us, since we are not perfect, right? We are on the road to perfection. We are trying every day our best. So since we are not perfect still, right? So meaning nobody is is authorized or has the qualification to judge anyone. That's why instead of judging others, really we need to continue to judge ourselves, continue to point out what are our limitations, and then based on that we can improve ourselves, that one day we can really become the people that God expects us to become. Aju, that's why this is really, really important. We have to really examine ourselves. So true Father said, all of us are sinners. Even Father, even true Father who came on earth, our true Father and true Mother. Father said, Jesus taught this when he encountered the men who were about to stone to death a woman who had committed adultery. He said to them, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And they all ran away. So what does this mean? So all of us are sinners. Ibig sabihin, lahat tayo nagkakasala, right? In our mind, in our heart, every day. Many things we couldn't really overcome. That's why we are still on that, on the way to improving. We are on the way improving ourselves. We are in the way to perfection, perfecting ourselves. That's why at this time of our life, we just need to focus on how we can improve every day ourselves, right? Instead of judging other people, looking at other people's mistakes, at other people's lapses, right? So it's really important, sabi ni Father. So we need to really look at ourselves because we are all sinners. So we are not really qualified to judge anybody. That's why sometimes, what are the hindrances? Why we cannot really build an ideal, our own family, ideal, community, ideal society. And then now, how can we really build this ideal community? Many times we are hearing from our elders, from our leaders, in every nation's situations the same. In our movement also, many difficulties, right? Because sometimes we are just looking at our movement, but actually we have to look inside us, in our own self. When everybody started to look, on their lapses and difficulties, and then started to improve, naturally we can really build heavenly community, heavenly parents whole community, especially now the True Mother already, the last year, True Mother announced our movement to become the Heavenly Parents Holy Community. So how can we truly understand, Heavenly Parent, especially Heavenly Parent hearts? That's why sometimes, because of our lack of experiences, especially of Heavenly Parents' heart, that's why it's very easy to judge other people. That's why sometimes, even though we are already, it doesn't matter actually how long we have been in our movement. That's why Father is saying, if we lack experiences of God's heart, of understanding God's heart, someone who really understands God's heart, more somehow, these people, they tend to, look inside them more. They started to realize their lapses more. So it will lessen the chances of judging other people. That's why really the key also is really to understand Heavenly Parents' heart through our experiences. So yesterday, our Vice President, Reverend Ronnie, was sharing, right? That's why we need to have a lot of experience to also make a proper decision. The same is true. That's why our experiences with Heavenly Parents is really, really important. People who doesn't have really a lot of experiences, very easy to judge other people. Very easy to, to say something ill to others, right? But we started to understand somehow, grasp somehow the heart of Heavenly Parent, the heart of true parents. Actually, you will not going to look at other people's mistake anymore. Slowly you will going to eliminate this. And then you will going to look inside you more. You will going to go deeper and deeper in your life. This is the way. This is really this is truly the way. When we have a lot of experiences with Heavenly Parent, as we practice, as we do our mission, once we become, so we can see actually from our elders, from some of our leaders who have really, deep experiences, our elders who have experiences with true parents. We could see really the true person who has a lot of experiences already with Heavenly Parents' heart. Actually, they never judge. They always, that's why, even myself, I reflect a lot about this, right? Sometimes, always we just see about the, shortcomings of brothers and sisters, about their lapses, but how to invest of loving them more and really helping them truly so that they can, how can we lift them up so that we can help them overcome their difficulties. That's why having a lot of experiences with Heavenly Parents' heart, this will really help us. And then one day we can truly become the people that can really help others, right? Not only criticizing their lapses, not only, looking at their difficulties and limitations, but how can we really help them overcome. So once we have a lot of experiences with Heavenly Parents' heart, that's why this is really, really important. Aju, and then we can go more deeper and deeper. And then eventually we can grow, we can develop, and then we can really become a person that can really make Heavenly Parents proud of. Aju? Aju. So I think this is really, really important point. These are very, practical that all of us are really experiencing in our life. Every day in our everyday life, we tend to judge, situations. We tend to judge other people, and then we are thinking that, uh, we are like better of many, or if we are the ones who do these things, and maybe the situation will be better. This kind of thinking we have. That's why how to really eliminate all these things and truly become, one day become really the son and daughter that the Heavenly Parents are really longing for. Aju? So really, this is now the time, also through this pandemic. Many things already actually we are realizing in our life. We have reflected so many things in our life, right? That's why but it's still a long way to go. Even for myself, it's still a lot, of things to change and improve. So it's still a long way to go. We are still very, very far. That's why as we focus every day, then we will going to continue to develop one day, right? Heavenly Parents will be proud of us as let's just continue and really help one another in this Heavenly Parents holy community. Let's really, always, be positive and really share, positive things to other brothers and sisters. That's why if we can really build this kind of community, truly, naturally, people will going to see the difference in us. And then naturally, they will come to us even without, calling them or inviting them. It will become natural. That's why how to, create that kind of environment, this kind of atmosphere, right? How to really build this in all our centers, starting from our families. Aju, in our family, in our centers, in all our communities. That's why this is now the time. God has given us this opportunity every moment, every day. This is really great opportunity for us to grow and develop. So instead of looking of other people to other people, we need to look inside us. Instead of criticizing others, we have to criticize our own self, our own limitations. And then eventually we will grow, we will develop, we will improve. And then we will become, later on we will be happier also, right? That's why sometimes many people are not happy. Even though we are living with true parents already very long time in our life, why still we are not happy? So because of our character, because of our attitude. Aju, kaya nga, also based on the studies, many people are using what is 100% in us. This is our attitude. That's why if we started to change our attitude, our nature, our character, because we lost that because of the fall. The nature that we have inherited is Satan's nature. But actually, if we just live our life with the nature of Heavenly Parent, we will really be happy. Aju? Aju. That's why this time, True Parents is really teaching us, step by step, how to really improve ourselves, how to really become, how to really be happy also in life. And then how can we really build that kind of family that God really wanted? And then from there, we will going to multiply. We're going to share. That's why our HTM. HTM, it's not only, we are just going to the field and really blessing people, but actually how to really help other people become happy. How to help brothers, families solve their problems between husband and wife, within their family. Kaya nga po this time si Reverend Hori is emphasizing more on home group. Kaya nga na-realize ko rin po, home group, we need to do a lot of communication. We need to communicate more as husband and wife. As you communicate more and more every day, kasi minsan sobrang busy tayo, you can really understand each other more. You can understand each other more. Once you started to understand and know a person, you will never judge them. We only judge others because we don't know them. That's why even husband and wife, sometimes why we judge each other, you don't know really each other well. Sometimes parents and children, why you judge each other, you don't know well each other. It doesn't mean asawa mo siya, anak mo siya, kilala mo na talaga. Right? That's why sometimes we are too busy of many things. And then that's why ngayong time po na to, this is now the time to balance things. We really need to balance. Sometimes our brothers and sisters, kasi nga, we judge other pero hindi mo pa pala nakausap even once. Yung talagang, communication, deep communication by heart. Kaya nga home group is very, very important. Kaya sinasabi lagi ni Reverend Hori, small group, communicating each other, where you can open your heart. Minsan nag-uusap tayo very casually lang. Hindi natin natatouch hindi tayo umaabot that we can really feel each other's heart. Kasi nga sobrang busy tayo, ang dami natin ginagawa sa buhay, hindi na natin talaga nabigyan ng time ang brothers and sisters natin. Our, even our spouse, our children. That's why it's really important. Communication. And then not only communication by words. As you communicate deeply, you started to communicate by heart. Right? Kaya nga, how to eliminate artistic distance. Right? So we have this distance between and among brothers and sisters. How to eliminate this? Once we started to have connection of heart, never we will judge anybody. This is really important. Once we build, that's why home group. Home group, kahit konti-konti lang, pa isa-isa, pa dala-dalawa, pa tatlo-tatlo, padami ng padami. And then as we touch each other's heart. Kaya nga minsan, it's really good. Yung ngayon, like, also we have some mga groups natin sa NLTP, YLT, and then especially ngayon, lockdown, they are just together. Ngayon, it's a really good opportunity. Now, they could develop more deeper relationship. Ngayon din sa family, somehow. Diba? Dahil sa lockdown, maraming mga tao, they realize, ganito pala yung situation ko. Ganito pala yung situation ng wife ko. I didn't understand before. Ganito pala yung situation ng mga anak ko. That's why, because this is lack of, connection of heart. Kaya nga sabi ni Father, Kingdom of Heaven, actually this is the communication is based on heart. Kingdom of Heaven, connection of heart. Artistic relationship, not only the casual relationship. That's why in our Heavenly Parents Holy Community, how to really build truly artistic relationship. Ito talaga yung, we need to really work on, centering on our own self. Right? Building relationship to others and then listening from others' testimonies. Really working, beyond boundary of heart. Beyond many boundaries. Kaya hindi tayo makapag-connect sa isa't isa. So that's why sabi ni Father dito, we are all sinners. We are not qualified to judge anybody. That's why really the core is really our artistic relationship. Especially first with Heavenly Parent, with our true parents. Once we build that kind of relationship to them, naturally it will expand to brothers and sisters. That's why brothers and sisters, our blessed and families today, true parents is really reminding us, all of us. That's why whatever, we have how we live yung life natin in the past today is a new beginning for all of us, even for myself, right? I need to determine from today again to improve more my relationship to Heavenly Parents and true parents, and then to all our brothers and sisters, to my wife, to my children, and really build that artistic bond, and then naturally, if you build that, then naturally you can also, deal with all people, all brothers and sisters the same way. Then you will never judge others. You will never criticize other people. This is really amazing. This is really, very practical that all of us are going through and, trying to overcome and also experiencing in our life, right? That's why this time we need to go more deeply in us, in our hearts, and then go deeper to our Heavenly Parent and true parents' hearts. That's why I'm really, really grateful whenever I really study true parents' words. I can because we can relate. All of us can really relate very well with all the situations. And then really true parents is really trying to help us bring out our true and original nature. Aju, that one day once we practice this, already we can experience the true joy and happiness in life. Experiencing directly with Heavenly Parent and true parents. Aju, so let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Let's give a big hand. So this is one more last slide. So Father said, love all your children as your own. Doesn't this also apply to you? You women should not praise your own offspring while criticizing other people's children. Rather, you should regard yourself as representing all womankind and love every mother's child as your own. It is the same with you men. So this is really important. Sometimes we, of course, we are very proud with our own children. Yeah, we are very proud with our own children. But, you know, Father is saying here, you need to love all your children as your own. Not only your own children, but actually, if we really understand our second generation, our third generation, actually, they are not just our children. They are true parents' children, right? We are just like caretaker to them. That's why Father is saying here, you women, especially the mothers, should not praise your own offspring while criticizing other people's children. Rather, you should regard yourself as representing all womankind and love every mother's child as your own. It is the same with you men. The same is true. So meaning the parents, you cannot just, you know, praise your own children and then criticize others. But how can we really treat everybody, you know, as our own children? Father said, this is really important, right? Kaya tayo, hindi lang apat ang anak ko, right? But all children, all second generation, like the age of my children, I need to really treat them as my own children. I need to love them as God loves them. I need to praise them. So this is really important reminder of our true parents. That's why our own brothers and sisters, we really, mga brothers and sisters din natin, we need to treat them, hindi lang yung our own physical brothers and sisters, but really our brothers and sisters, how we treat our physical brothers and sisters, the same is true. We need to treat them. Sometimes, you know, this is still far from us. Sometimes it's still, nandun pa rin yung, alam nyo, we are still on the, naka-isolate pa rin tayo with our own physical families. Minsan kapag hindi talaga ng physical family, still you can see the boundary. Right? That's why how to eliminate this in our hearts, these barriers of heart. So now true parents is giving us this opportunity now. How to really, kaya nga, you know, to become a leader, how to really become a leader. Kaya I'm also really thinking and reflecting a lot and really repenting a lot also. How to really become a true leader. Sometimes many brothers and sisters are communicating to me their situation. So sometimes how can I understand truly? I need to put my feet on their shoes. That's why sabi ni Father, di ba? How to really have a heart of the parent. As a leader, sa iba't ibang pan natin, as a parent, how can we really understand truly people's hearts? Sometimes sinasabi sila, pumasok sa isang tenga natin, lumabas sa iba, but we couldn't really feel their heart. Hindi natin naintindihan. Kaya nga rin ako rin, this is also, I'm working, how can I truly understand people's hearts? Especially now, pandemic. I could talk to many brothers and sisters, many situations. Yesterday, I go to IPLC. You know, when I talk to brothers and sisters and then they are telling my concern, I cannot just, you know, accept their concern here and then come out from here. How can I understand their heart? I need to put my feet on their shoes so that I can understand. And then as I understand, how can I also do my best to, you know, help situations? Really, these boundaries, how to eliminate this boundary in our hearts. If we truly understand, you know, brothers and sisters' hearts, you know, really things will change in us. Magbabago lahat. How we treat and how we deal with people, everything will surely change. But because there is limitation in us, word come in and then lalabas din dito, we couldn't really feel the heart within that word. Right? How to, you know, that's why how through experiences of Heavenly Parent and true parents, through a lot of experiences dealing with brothers and sisters, our own families, then we can develop this. That's why also for me, in my own self, as a leader also, how can I truly understand? How can I put when someone is, you know, sharing the situation? How can I truly understand artistically? How I should put my feet on their shoes so that I can understand. If I only look, you know, casually, I can never understand their heart. I can never understand truly their situation. and then I will not do something to help them, right? This is the limitation. This is the limitation. That's why, like how we treat our own families, it should expand to the bigger community, right? Not only we treat special our own son and daughter, the same is true. Sometimes, I really feel this exactly. I'm living also here in training center. How can I, live also with a lot of, sometimes very difficult, really, really difficult, how to live exactly the same way with all brothers and sisters. But this is our goal. We are still, far. But as we, determine, we will going to improve eventually. Aju, that's why Father is saying here today, you cannot just praise your own sons and daughters and criticize others, right? So you should regard yourself as representing all womankind and all, actually even the father also, even all the men. Father said, and love every mother's child as your own. It is the same with all the men. So how to really, treat everybody as our own true and real family members. So how to eliminate the boundaries in our hearts? Aju, that's why this is now the time that Heavenly Parents and True Parents is giving us this great opportunity. That's why through this pandemic, we could learn and reflect many things. Aju, that's why today, brothers and sisters, all of us are being reminded by Heavenly Parents and True Parents through this guidance of True Father today. That's why we cannot criticize others. We cannot judge other people. We have to really judge ourselves and then really bring out our true nature of really loving and embracing. This is the true nature of our Heavenly Parent. Always wanted to embrace all of us, even how many pain we have brought to Heavenly Parent. Still, Heavenly Parent always want to embrace us, want to love us. Aju, that's why we have to inherit it. We have to inherit this no matter what. So once we break down the barriers from our hearts, and then we really connect artistically with our own families and brothers and sisters, and then that's the time we can truly build that community that Heavenly Parents is longing for. Heavenly Parents holy community that really loving, truly loving each other. Aju, Aju. So let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Once again, may Heavenly Parents' love and blessings be upon you. Let's really have a great Sunday today. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Yes, thank you very much, Sir LA, for that very practical guidance and also really a very good reminder to each and every one of us. Let's give hand to our Sir LA. Thank you so much po. Indeed, it's really important to have artistic communication towards our brothers and sisters. So this is what our Sir LA is emphasizing this time to avoid judging others. It's very important to understand them first. So yes, once again, thank you so much po, Sir LA. And yeah, is there anyone who would like to share or the reflection? Okay, so right, so for our reflection, I would like to call on our Sister Ella May Perez, the Expansion and Membership and Training Head of IAYSP Filipinas, to share her reflection. Yes, let's welcome Ate Ella.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and good morning po, Sir LA and all the leaders, Dr. Kitel and Mrs. Kitel, Sir Ronnie and Dr. Julius, and everyone, good morning po. So thank you again po, Sir LA, for this very inspiring and wonderful reminders again for us, especially for me as a young people. So this topic is judge not. At first I'm thinking what to reflect, and then suddenly bumalik po sa akin yung first time when I encounter the movement or the church or carp. So yeah, I was educated as a Christian or Baptist, and our faith to Jesus is so strong as in po. So then when I joined the car for the 7 days workshop in Baguio, and then they revealed that true parents is the Messiah, the second coming. And I was so crying, not because I cried that time, not because I accept true parents, but I cried because why these people are very good, they are very kind and loving, but sayang po kasi they are serving a wrong God, sabi ko pong ganun sa so that's why. And then I opened it to my team leader. Then she said, what if just continue, sabi niya ganun. Just let you experience something like that. But since also I have a and needs in the center, because that time I was about to end. I mean, yeah, I'm in my first year in college, so I need center, or I need place to stay near in our university. So I lied to myself, and then sabi ko na lang po na yeah, okay, I will continue po, and I will stay kung hanggang saan, ganun po. So throughout my my experience, I joined fundraising, witnessing. Honestly, I overcome po fundraising and witnessing everything, but my problem is yun nga po, true parents. Hindi talaga po siya sa akin parang accepted, even full bow, ganun. Kasi I thought I'm serving wrong God po talaga, and sabi nga po 'di ba, don't bow to idols, ganun po. And but yeah, because I see that my greatest po kasi fear is regret. So sabi ko, I need to experience this, and I need to stay more, especially for my study. And sabi ko, after graduate na lang I will left them. Sabi ko pong ganun. And then sabi ko rin po na na I went back to our church and report it even to my pastor, and I said na hoping we could witness them. They're very good po. That time I was just 16 years old. So sabi ko po na witnessan po natin yung mga tao na kasama po namin sa center, kasi mababait naman po sila. So I stay in the center to my hidden agenda is to witness, and then to finish my study. But yeah, many times I try to go back home and to our church, but I don't know, there's something within my heart, and even my ancestor, I feel them na na they really push me to stay and go back, and even to all my pioneer leaders when I'm starting in the church, or in Manila Center. Yeah, I was so grateful to them, because they and then they didn't give up on me. Even I was so very stubborn as in po, and every day I have my mind that every direction I need to think first, ganon. And then times na dumating naman, okay na po, na-accept ko na. Then hindi pa po pala doon natatapos yun, na after accepting the Messiah, because we still daw po na na-realize ko na meron pong blessing, tapos meron daw pong matching, and ayun po yung hindi ko po talaga kaya tanggapin, kasi I have in my mind na we cannot teach our heart, ganun po. And bakit po ganun? Pagpasok ko naman dito, ang gusto ko lang naman po ay to join the organization. But yeah, hindi lang po pala yon. So, and yeah, I just realized na na my stubbornness is stronger than, I mean, my love to God and true parents is stronger than my stubbornness po. Siguro that's why, even though how really within myself I know I'm the problem in the blessing or in the matching, I really struggle, kasi yun nga po na bakit, but I know why we need to do it. Maybe right now I just need, I mean, I know that this is the right path, then this is the right thing to do, not of course for me and for a future generation, of course. And na if I think only myself, I want to become selfish that um uh it's we have only one life to live, and I want to spend my life happily like that. But yeah, sabi nga po, judge not. So, and hindi pa naman po, 'di ba? Hindi ako, for me, na um hindi pa naman, I mean, yeah, I'm still in the process. We're still on the process, and I really, since this is very important po talaga, the faith to God and true parents, because if hindi po, then yeah, maybe we will lose our path. So yeah, I'm so grateful to the guidance of to the to the process that I've been through, to the training and to the workshop. And I don't know when is the time that I really say to myself that the exact date that I accept the Messiah. Because even when I graduate after my 4 years, I still pray in Jesus' name, and abot in Jesus' name and true parents' name. Amen, Aju. Because hindi, kala ko po kakalimutan na si Jesus, but when I understand that true parents love Jesus more than I love Jesus, yun po. Kasi he took the the responsibility that Jesus Christ didn't accomplish when he was here in earth. So yun, I'm so grateful to true parents and to heavenly parent for not giving up on me. And even right now, na sabi ko I don't want to join the movement when I first encounter it, but right now I have a responsibility. I mean, not only but big responsibility, especially in our young people in our church. I know I have so many things to eliminate my fallen nature, and I need more to become more stronger, and I need to learn a lot pa po. That's why even externally, I thought to myself before that I'm good when I'm good in study, academics, or when I go out, I can excel easily. But since yun nga, my love to God and true parents po, they yeah, they guide me throughout that, and I'm so grateful to all our leaders talaga po na even though I'm not mentioning them, but every time I listen po sa kanila, and I was so moved and inspired. So sabi ko, I cannot trust myself to go out the church or in the movement yet, because yeah, I still a lot of fallen nature, and we know that we cannot allow Satan to give even a small inch to invade us. So I'm grateful to the guide. I ano po request that I really still need ano po guidance to all our leaders, and that's why I ano po I continue. And yeah, so in short po, thankful because I continue the ano po my path here in the in the movement. That's why I call when I going to write my autobiography here in the ano po encountering our church, I will entitle this unexpected journey, because I never expect to walk in this path and even receiving the blessing in my young age. And yeah, so yan lang po. Thank you so much.
Yes, I feel so speechless. Thank you so much, Atela, for that very artistic and sincere sharing, especially also sharing about your encounter with the movement and also your life of faith before. Yeah, once again, let's give hand to our Atela. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, now also I would like to welcome another brother whom I think also will be sharing yeah something also very unexpected in his journey, especially encountering our church. I would like to call on our Brother Ravi Balasa, our social media manager of IOISP Pilipinas, to also share his reflection. Let's welcome Brother Ravi. Ravi.
Yes, yes. Hello. Okay. Good morning to you, our most loving heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning to you, Sir LA, Dr. Kittle, and Mrs. Kittle, and our pioneering leaders. Good morning. Before I start my reflection, I guess it is better to say I am sorry for those people that I've been judged. I know you're listening right now, and I think we must all do the same to acknowledge our lackings and our faults. Acknowledging that we do have our fallen nature is not enough, but it needs an action. So I would like to say sorry for those people who I've judged, and to God also, because first of all, before I met the church, I am not sure if God really exists or not. I said to myself that people create God because they need something which is more reliable and powerful. So they create an image of God, and that's what they believe and preach every day. But later on, I met the church, and it changed me a lot from zero to God. So I would like to say thank you to Heavenly Parents and to parents. Um, um, the topic is very wonderful, and I guess we are all victim and slaves of this judgment, of making judgment to people, and and no one will be excused for this. And we shouldn't deny ourselves. No, I do not judge people. We should come in the stage that we accept ourselves, that we judge our colleagues, our brothers and sisters who left the church, who decide to work and not to do full time. So this is my personal reflection, that I tend to do a lot of these things, and I think it is better to acknowledge my faults on that. And I always believe in the golden rule, that do unto others as you will have them do unto you. And if you don't want to be judged, then don't judge people. And I'm really grateful to Heavenly Parents and true parents, that it became more clear on how should I place myself, or how should I qualify myself to judge people. Well, there are a lot of people who just came and very quick in my life, not for 3 years, maybe 1 month, or 1 year, and he said that study the person for 3 years. So it's a good learning for me to pick for this wonderful Sunday morning, and I should examine myself more, and the same time, I do have a lack of experience. That is why I really applaud for our leaders who help and teach the young people on to avoid the three C's, because because it requires a huge experience for us of all. So that is why I am really grateful for our leaders. So yeah, it is wonderful to know about this topic, because we tend to forget about these values that true parents teach us, because we know true parents, we know the root of sin, we know the reason why people make mistakes. Then I feel superior on my ideology, and I filter people based on the principle that I have, and I forget to place myself and to evaluate and the last thing is, where is the respect and love to the humanity? That's why I really love True Mother, because he really loved the humanity. Every people, she is concerned about it. Then how can we do that? How I can do that to love the humanity? In every time I filter people and I judge people because I know the principle, I practice the principle, and I forget that they don't know true parents. They don't know the divine principle. So that's why I am really applaud for those people who stayed in to be true on themselves, to criticize themselves. That's and the same time, lastly, is to let them love the people who are seeking love, which is I think the true parents would like to do to the humanity. And I'm really grateful again. I'm really sorry for those people that I have judged, and I hope you do the same too. And I guess that would be all for my reflection. To me, um, and because I don't want to I'm not in the position to share this thing because I am one of the slaves of judgment, because I do have a standard, and people have different standard also. When people do not meet the standard of myself, so we make opinion. So it's really difficult, and because well, it's my opinion, so that's we say to people. And the problem is, if I say opinion, should do I center it to heavenly parent or just by myself? So that's what I realized today. So let's all make love in way of brothers and sisters, and to fulfill the four great realms of heart that true parents taught us. So in the end, all I have shared and reflect will be on me. So I should practice it, and I guess that will be all. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Yes, thank you very much, Davy, for sharing your heart and also your realizations and reflections about this topic. So let's give hand to our brother Davy. Thank you very much. And yeah, now also for our final guidance, let us all welcome the Regional Vice President of Heavenly Asia Pacific 2, our very own Dr. Julius B. Malecten. So I'll give him a virtual round of applause. Sir Julius.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy Sunday to everyone. Once again, today we are so grateful to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents for guiding us through our national leader. Very important in our life of faith. And the topic about judge not. And reminder of the rule of three. Long time ago, I read about this from True Father, and today I was reminded again. The rule of three: before criticizing others, you need to find first three things that you can criticize in yourself. Or in a different way, we can say, before correcting others, then first look at yourself and find three things that you need to correct first. Actually, this is very powerful reminder for all of us, because this, as Ravi said, this actually we cannot discount the fact that we are very critical people. Like, how many times, honestly, try to evaluate yourself, even though we know true parents, we know the principle. How many times have you judged others? In your mind, maybe you don't say it, but in your mind, you are very critical. I myself is like this, in my mind, always I'm trying to judge and become critical with somebody. No, but even though I don't say. So how many times in a day, how many times do you judge your husband? How many times do you judge or criticize your spouse or your wife? In a day, how many times do you criticize your children? Or how many times do you criticize your parents, your father, your mother? In a day, how many times do you criticize your leaders? How many times do you criticize your members? So most of us are at fault of this. So that is why this guidance is a reminder for all of us. That's why when we accumulate criticisms and judgments, then this becomes like cancer, as our national leader also reminded us, avoid the 3 C's. And one of it is criticism, and then comparing, and then complaining. Then when we accumulate this, then this becomes like can kill us actually, not only internally or spiritually, but also can kill us physically. Jesus reminded us actually, this is very famous Bible verse. Do not judge others or you will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will also be judged. For the measure you use, it will also be measured to you. So actually, when we look at this, brothers and sisters, True Father said, when we receive grace or blessing, you should use it to fight Satan on behalf of God with a heart of heaven's indignation. Ibig sabihin nito, no? So, many of us are receiving blessings every day. But the grace that we receive should not be used to look down on others. Yung feeling mo na, wow, I am more blessed than others. And this is actually very dangerous, when we have that kind of attitude. So the more you receive blessings, the more we receive grace, then the more we need to humble down. And don't use this as a platform na we can look down on others. That's why Father said, this is not the right attitude of faith. And then, so this talking about judge not, it's not actually not to stop us from judging or criticizing, but we need to be very careful, brothers and sisters. It is like a warning sign. When you are about to enter a dangerous place, then there is like a warning sign, no? Or like a light, toot, toot, toot. Then it's like, warning. No, you need to be very careful. It's like saying, judge at your own risk. No, kung minsan nakakakita tayo ng mga warning signs na yan, no? Judge at your own risk. Ibig sabihin nito, to criticize, when you start criticizing others, Father said, you set yourself up, whether you are the one determining whether this person is for God or for Satan. And that is very dangerous, because when we do that, it is actually putting ourselves also in the same position, whether we belong to Satan's side or God's side. So that is why, when we judge another person or when we judge others, we do not define them. We are defined, no? Instead, you define yourself, no? So, ibig sabihin nito, it's not actually us defining what they are and who they are. It is actually more into us, bumabalik din sa atin. That is why yung kanina rin, no, we're talking about Jesus, before you take out the speck on your brother's eyes or your neighbor's eyes, then you have to look at yourself first. Remove first the log that is in your own eyes. No, mayroon pang also like bago mo alisin ang puwing sa mata ng iba, tignan mo muna yung sarili at alisin ang troso na nasa iyong mata. No? This talks about not actually stopping to criticize, but first I need to check myself. It's like checking myself first. Because some people might misuse, when maybe some leaders start to reprimand or check other members, and then they might use this, oops, don't criticize me. No? They might suddenly use this, don't criticize me. Actually, no, it's not telling others not to criticize us, but it is telling us not to criticize others. So ibig sabihin, no, when we are being corrected, when we are being reprimanded, what is very important is our motivation. This is very difficult position for leaders, because when they see something wrong with members, then they have to reprimand, they have to warn, and they have to correct. So that is why is this more of a warning or like to be careful? It means to say, check our motivation. Check our motivation. So it is, as Jesus said, before you remove the speck from your neighbor's eyes, you have to remove first the log or speck in your own eyes. So it is not wrong to lovingly help your neighbor remove the speck from their own eye. What is wrong is when we self-righteously point out the speck or what is wrong from others' eye, but we ignore the bigger speck in our own eyes. Yun ang mali. So that's why be careful. Our fallen nature is very strong. We have the tendency to be selfish, to be proud. So that should not be the motivation. So as the Bible says, we must take great care that our judgment, like Christ, is always charitable. Ibig sabihin, always for the good. No? So, and we have to remember, when we think of criticizing others or judging others, we have to ask ourselves, is this God's viewpoint or my own selfish viewpoint? So God's viewpoint is always very different from us. Sabi nga sa Bible, no? God does not see us as man sees us. Man look at the outward appearance, but God look at the heart. So ang ganda, no? So that is why in this guidance today, brothers and sisters, it's a reminder for all of us, no? It's more on checking myself first, my motivation. And then based on that foundation, we connect to our heavenly parents, we connect to our true parents, then we can start helping brothers and sisters. No? So this is a very important guidance. So let's have a beautiful Sunday today. Thank you for all the sharing and all the leaders who took part in this Hunduke. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you very much po, Sir Julius, for your guidance. Yes, it's given to our Sir Julius.
Thank you.
So,
Kamsahamnida.
and yeah, for now, to complete our Hinduke, I would like to request our IAYSP Pilipinas President, Mr. Rene Lansangan, to offer our closing prayer.
Thank you so much, every parent and to parents. Thank you. Thank you so much, our leaders, brothers and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Sarang hasinon hanen pumnim, chunjin champumunim, kamsahamnida, sarang hamnida. Our loving heavenly parents, we are very grateful and thankful for this wonderful day, for giving us this amazing grace, the gift of life, and the blessings that you bestowed upon us, especially these precious words from our two parents that give us life as well as energy and determinations to march forward in fulfilling our mission and responsibility. It is our desire, heavenly parents, to comfort and liberate your heart. And thank you for calling us. And thank you that you choose us to represent you in this time that we are living in the time of our two parents, in order to advance your providence and to offer victory, especially in restoring our people, our tribes, as well as our nation. Heavenly parents, thank you for our beloved two parents, especially our two mother, who are leading us in this time, despite of this very chaotic situation, especially in this pandemic, with parents. But through our two mother is giving us hope that we as heavenly soldiers must be determined and unite as one, so that we could be able to offer victory, especially for Vision 2027. Heavenly parents, thank you for trusting us, and we pray that we will be able to protect your foundation and legacy. Especially, we want to align ourselves and unite for the reunification of North and South Korea, our fatherland, as well as we as a Filipino Blessed Central family and community. We want to determine ourselves, as parents, that we will offer to you our nation. And now we are doing our best to educate our young people to become Chonilgok citizen. Not only young people, but all our families and parents, brothers and sisters working very hard. Please accept all the prayers and hard works and the determination of our brothers and sisters. And these blessings, we will share this to our expanded families, Heavenly Parents. And please forgive us for all our shortcomings and limitations. We will do our very best, Heavenly Parents, to offer to you our tribes, our nation. This I would like to offer and report this in our name, Rene and Lorna Sangan. Bless Central Family, this I pray. Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Let us now offer our individual prayer. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Let us all offer our good morning greetings once again. Good morning, Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Good morning, our leaders, our Central families, and our brothers and sisters. Thank you very much, Paul, for joining our video this morning.
Good morning, Papa Bong.
So, happy Sunday po and see you this Sunday service.
Morning, Kuya Paul.
Thank you very much po.
Morning.
Thank you.